Still up? Are we still up and running?
All right.
Because
Oh, no.
there we go.
There it is.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Bandai Namco live. E3. Hope everything going good. This shit bugging a little bit.
Shall we see how many have fallen into shadow?
Praying for One Piece.
Satellite sweeps of the
One
war
Piece
zone have
One Piece
uncovered what
game?
appears to be an underground storage facility. But I strongly suspect it's where chemical weapons are hidden, so we need to move fast.
Ready to go dark.
To descend into the unknown alone is extremely brave.
Man out, hold fire.
Or extremely foolish.
We're gonna sigh out for this shit.
Brothers in arms, or will it be a case of each man for himself?
Down, get down! They're up on the ridge! Return fire!
You teeter
excited,
on
I'm
the
excited.
edge of an abyss. Your survival depends on the choices you make. They will be as a compass, guiding you through the unknown.
Where on God's green earth have we landed?
What nightmare have these luckless souls fallen into?
You keep lookout.
Look out. Look out for what?
One by one, their lights will be snuffed out. Unless you can find the means to save them. Trapped beneath the earth, swallowed
We have to move, let's go.
by the void.
Testing.
Will you find the path to salvation? Or be lost
Come
in the
in.
darkness forever?
That's it. No. I don't know if I think we're here though.
What's that?
I don't know if I think we're here.
You take a piece?
Thank you.
Who in the room minute? Nobody?
No.
What's my catching on? 6?
We're here at Supermassive to talk about the next game in the Dark Pictures anthology,
So thank
House
you,
of
Big Clip.
Ashes. I'm joined by exec producer Dan. How you doing?
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. Right, so let's start at the very start. We're going to be talking about House of Ashes for most of the interview, but for those that don't know, tell us about the Dark Pictures anthology.
The Dark Pictures is a series of narrative, story-driven, branching horror stories. Each one is standalone. They each tell a different story, completely separated from the others, but within the same universe, so there is connection between them all. House of Ashes is set at the end of the Iraq War in 2000.
Hope I ain't mess it up.
The theme and themes, I suppose, within House of Ashes.
It starts off with a military unit. They've got some new technology that can look for weapons of mass destruction underground. They think they've identified something in the Zagros Mountains in Iraq, and then as part of that, they come into conflict with an Iraqi unit. There's a pitched firefight, and then the two groups are plunged underground. There's an earthquake of some sort, and it's revealed that there's a hidden temple underground, these big massive structures, but these different groups, they're all separated, radio contact is lost, and they're submerged in this black darkness.
Where on God's green earth have we landed?
And then they're going to start hearing things and seeing things, and people are going to start disappearing.
What the fuck just happened?
So this time,
give me
it's
Xenoverse
a very
3.
real threat.
All of the Dark Pictures
Give me
games,
Xenoverse
they all
3.
pull something from real life or from history, from facts.
And One Piece, that's all I
What's
want.
the case with the myth or historical?
I don't think we get new Naruto
House
games.
of Ashes?
So we love looking at and reading myths and legends and stories and doing our research, and we know our fans love it as well because there's something that they can link into afterwards. And I love doing that when I'm playing games and watching movies myself.
I don't care about these
This
games,
one's
man. I don't
set
know.
4,000 years ago.
I'm sorry. I'm
Alien
on my
was
weeb
terrible
shit,
evil.
on my otaku
Yeah,
shit.
this self-proclaimed
My anime
God
games.
king, Naram Sin, and he essentially cursed his people. He sacked this temple and brought famine and devastation to his own people. And so a lot of the history is lost, but we've done a lot of research about it, and then we had a lot of happy accidents that linked into the story we wanted to tell. And the fun thing for us is we get to do our own take on it. We get to twist it, and obviously we've made our own truth from it.
At the end of the sneak peek, the trailer, we saw monsters. Tell us a bit more about what's going on there.
The military unit that you're playing as, they don't really know what they're coming up against. They're not human. They're bigger. They're larger.
This a shooter,
they're faster.
or this is like a
the team aren't going to know if
heavy
there's
ring
one
game?
or two of them, or hundreds or thousands of them, and that's kind of the threat with this. You know, they've got guns. Maybe they could try and take one of them down, but maybe there's another one around the corner, or maybe there's a group of them, and maybe they're going to get ambushed.
Maybe they're like a cluster.
Exactly,
And they
yeah,
all pop
a
out at
nest,
once.
as it were.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun to work on and see these things move
when the
along
animation
and how
come
horrific
on,
they can
I'm
be.
gonna sit back
They're
up.
different to us. They
But for
perceive the
now,
world in a different way.
I don't care
Getting
about
little
this
snippets of it in the darkness.
dark
Was
picture
that,
shit.
did I see that? Was it something that moved? Or is it actually just one of the other soldiers that's stuck in the catacomb?
Who's there?
We like to try and misdirect people on things, you know, that did you see something, did you not? And that's a great thing within horror, that you think you're going to be scared right now, and we're not going to scare you now, we'll scare you in a minute when
It's
you're not
coming.
expecting it.
It's always coming.
Yeah, always.
So should we expect a huge amount of peril in the game?
Definitely. We love to do it. You know, it's fun for us to work on. It's horrific as it is, and it's
Said he calling my
our fans love it
phone.
as well. So yeah, there's at least 60
And told
unique
the
deaths,
report
and there's a
that
whole
it's
ton of
over.
variation on that as well. So Merwin and some of the others, you're going to see different things happening to them depending on how you play it out. You know, getting ripped and shredded and torn, and because there's a firefight, there's going to be bullets flying as well, and all kinds of stuff. And it's not just the deaths; it's the gore that goes along with
You
it.
gonna have gameplay? Or is this just like a cinematic game? I ain't seen not one bit of
Wicked.
gameplay.
Sounds absolutely terrifying. I'm in.
Not gonna lie, man. It's pretty f***ing bad.
What differences have you made or changes have you made to the gameplay and mechanics for House of Ashes?
We're always evolving the Dark Pictures. We listen to a lot of the feedback from our fans and also our team, what they want to do, how they want to push things forward. So we tried some stuff in Little Hope with you know, more camera control, 360 cameras at certain parts, and we really leaned on that again, and it really works well in House of Ashes. Lots of the game is set underground, and so these sort of corridors which are really tight and oppressive.
Creepy.
Yeah, indeed. So we've had to learn, because you take away the fixed cameras, and that takes away some opportunities for horror. But we've had to learn new tricks to scare people and, you know, ramp up the tension and you know, the chance for jump scares, which, you know, some people love. We've also got a new torch mechanic, so you know, it's military themed. So these guys are going to be walking around with weapons, with torches mounted on them. We love the lighting that we do, the sort of really inky black darkness that we have. And sort of the contrast to the bright areas, and so you're going to need to lean on that torch to allow you to see where you're going, what the threat is, and that kind of stuff. We've also done things like added difficulty settings to this game. So in Little Hope we added
Look, I said no, you still
for
use it.
example, and we've got some really good positive feedback about that, but also some people want to turn it off. We want to allow you to play the game in your way. So with our accessibility settings and difficulty settings, if you want to have a more casual experience, you can change those settings. Still, most of your characters are going to end up dead, but you know, that's
Spoilers,
what,
yeah,
indeed.
but that's what we come here for. That's
Yeah.
okay, we can deal with it. So I've got to ask, what was it like working with Ashley?
So Ashley was fantastic. She researched Rachel. She understood her when she came on set, which is so refreshing. She knew her inside out. And Rachel is a flawed character, so she brought that through so fantastically. The rest of the cast was fantastic as well.
When we were looking for Joey, Salim helped me.
You didn't tell me this because...
Please flip your shit.
We want you to connect to these characters and understand them as humans. We want them to seem real because they're real to us. You know, we spend a long time designing them, and I don't mind if you hate any one individual character because you don't like everyone in real life. But maybe you'll like them when you see the journey they go on.
Maybe you'll like them once they're dead and you feel bad about it.
and you feel bad about it, definitely.
Yeah.
But also we want you to save them.
You can hear.
We want you to try and save them. You know, we know that some people want to get everyone killed straight away, and that's fine. That's their playthrough. That's what they want to do. But you know, can you get everyone out alive and save as many as you can?
There's a lot of replayability there.
Indeed,
Goes on forever. I like that. So, last question. Favourite scene?
Favourite scene? So,
Bro, come
Celine,
on.
our Iraqi
Anything
soldier,
for it.
and Jason
This
Colton,
is it.
one of the
Just started.
Marines that's
No,
there.
just started.
There's a way that can play out, and a sort of contest between them.
Get rid of
You
the
can make
interview.
it go in a number of different ways.
Eren Yeager.
is my friend.
Skip.
It's really emotional. Seeing them film it, I would love to
Aziz.
be there, and then seeing that come through in game. I think
Jumpers
we've got something
too.
there. I think that's gold.
Bro, I've been
and
saying
then, of course, I love
non-stop.
scaring people, so I love the jump scares, I
Non-stop
love
Xenoverse
the
3.
moments of tension.
Yu Yu Hakusho game.
We can't
Never.
hold you in that moment, so we've got some fantastic jokes in there.
That's a
as
whole
well,
different generation,
to
bro. They
allow
never
you to
bring that shit
relax
back.
for a moment before we scare you again.
To take your mind off
Yeah.
the imminent threat. I like that. Dan, thank you so much. This has been really cool to talk about. I'm sure, you know,
Let's go right now. Let's go.
Excited and terrified in equal part, and everyone else is just excited. I'm
Alright.
sure.
And it's been a real pleasure to speak to you, and I can't wait to get
Let's
it.
sit up. If it's good, if it's gonna stay up. If it's bad, land back down. Try to hit the mic too much.
Oh, this is the people who made
Some horror game.
I think it's like I forgot his name.
before we dive in, the House of Ashes, see how scared you got. Of course, we want to thank Razer for being one of the E3 2021 sponsors. Of course, giving us these tired old blades nobody cares about. But this Blade 14, RTX 3080 built right in. Of course, the Razer.
I'm taking that.
Thank you so much. No, I'm taking that.
Okay, we'll fight.
Okay, well,
we've done it before.
You know what? I'll take the hand-me-down. I'll be a little.
Are you serious?
What happened?
I don't know.
But and it's part of the.
You like crashed. Oh, damn.
Jump scares in the trailer. I got the willies there at the end too. Yeah. I am not crazy about horror. I was actually talking to the crew at the back, and I said, it really takes a very twisted mind to come up with these things.
Sure,
but it is impressive, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you heard there in the interview, Dan saying like, oh yeah, I love the jump scares. I live for the jump scares. It's
60 different death animations is what that was something he wanted to make sure, because of course this is a choose your own adventure. If you've never played a dark picture anthology, right? You are moving characters in a third person. You jump around. It's like you're watching a movie. You make choices. Those choices leads to different permutations, different setups, different settings, which leads to different deaths or no deaths if you're really, really good. But that's the idea, right? Is that you're playing in your own horror movie is developing, and then gives you the reason to replay it.
Yeah. Also, a pleasant surprise for me was that Ashley Tisdale is in it. I didn't know that going into it, which I was like, wow, this is definitely an upgrade from High School Musical. Like it's definitely a quick turnaround. Big different genre. But yeah, and I think also because we had the VO panel yesterday, which was great. Yeah. And it just goes to show, right? Like the impact that video games are having. Hollywood stars coming in, lending their voice, lending their face, their acting, their skills to this, really bringing these characters to life is just going to add even more layers to this horror.
That's a huge thing. If you've never played before, performance capture is a huge deal for Supermassive. They go through, they use the facial animation. They want you to feel like you're watching a movie. So we will see soon enough how the Dark Pictures anthology pans out this time around with House of Ashes. But for now, let's toss it over to the one, the only, Jackie Jane.
Ooh.
Brothers in arms, or each man for himself. Survival depends on choice. Will you find the path to save everyone, or be lost in the darkness? I'm sorry, I'm just a little excited about this title. Dan, I saw you taking lots of notes. You were taking notes about the mechanics, actually, but I know you're really thrilled with the story as well. I mean, I am here for this. So.
Well, I'm a big old history nerd, so I was super stoked to hear more about the setting.
It's more the same
thing. A lot of ancient lore about the Akkadian Empire. You have Naram Sin, this guy who declared himself like the god king of the Akkadian Empire and desecrated his temple, and now it's coming back to haunt us in modern day. It's also interesting to use the Iraq War as a setting. It is definitely a time
dark side,
and event during which to set the game, but also I think a rich sort of backdrop for horror into this setting, because you're tapping into sort of Mesopotamian mythology of Pazuzu, this king of wind demons who's tormenting all of these soldiers, and I'm really excited to see what they can do. I told you I was taking notes, I did some research. I'm excited. I can't wait to experience all 60 death animations.
I know the 60 unique deaths. Okay, Avi-chan's face right now is just killing me. Avi, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that if I'm ever trapped in like a dark cave, I'm probably gonna stick next to Dan because he understands what we should be doing. King of what now? You're looking up all this history on Pazuzu?
He's the king of wind demons. No big deal.
Come on, everybody knows that. I don't even know what the king of wind demons is. What was it?
Oh, he's Pazuzu.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
You may remember from The Exorcist as well.
Yes. Okay. Avi, you were obviously a big fan of
the
like Dan's just like, I could go on. Exactly.
I
was like, okay. But Avi, we've been talking about Resident Evil Village like at length. We both like horror survival, but also like when someone's playing with us. And I thought that it's great that it's co-op, so we can be scared together when we play.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be sitting behind Dan and watching him play, because that's exactly what I did with Until Dawn, because I'm like, cool, I can't hold a controller and, try to guide these teenagers to safety. I'm going to step on a branch and individually kill them all. But Dan was going into like the history of all of it, and I'm going, oh, 2003, that's a little too close. And I didn't pass all my history classes, but I hope that Pazuzu doesn't, you know, pop up anywhere in a text.
Where that anime stuff at?
Something that was really interesting for me when we were going through the trailers and going through that
Storm 5.
They showed
Fighterz 2.
They showed us the monster. They
One
showed
Piece
us what it
Fighterz.
looks like
I don't
inside
care.
the cave.
Give me
It's part of me
something.
wondering, like, usually with horror games, you don't show people the scary right away. So I'm wondering if maybe there's like a hidden layer of something else that they're not showing us that's going to catch people off guard, thinking that they're going in going like, I did my research, I know everything.
I know how to deal with a Pazuzu. This is easy.
You hate Bleach. You two would fall into the depths together, and then I would somehow be stuck with Michael, and he'd be like talking about JRPGs, and I'd be like, oh my goodness, we're in a world of hurt right now.
If I make a deal with the devil, I can turn into a very attractive protagonist, and then I can probably possess
name one show like
if I do
One Piece.
negotiations like you can
Name
in
one show like
SMT5.
One Piece.
No, anyway, like one thing I want to say about this one is the free cam controls. That's different for Supermassive.
Ain't
so
also
I wonder how
One
that
Piece.
works because I feel like they're very in control of camera angles and what
Steven
you see
here.
before you make choices. I'm sure there's like
He said
transition
join the
phases
stream.
where you actually make your choices and all that stuff. It's just something new from them, so I just want to see how that plays out, especially when I'm with a bunch of other people trying to get very scaled.
And Damon, I know you're all about retro games, but I also know you love a good story. I know for me, I felt like this
how
had
much
a
they
lot
got
of
paid
heart.
for this
There
segment,
was dialogue
man.
that we saw, and it really hit me to my core.
Yeah, and they showed some of the actors doing the motion capture. I love horror movies. I love horror games. I'm a kind of a gore hound. I love blood and guts, and I love kill gags. So like, I'm looking forward to see all the inventive and clever ways that Pazuzu is going to kill our soldier friends.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I just like saying Pazuzu, even though it's absolutely horrifying. Yes. Anyways, GOMS, I can't talk. Games have changed and evolved so much over the years, and with those changes, so has the coverage of our favorite games. Outlets like PC Gamer, IGN, Polygon, and GameSpot have all led the way in gaming coverage, and for the first time ever, we've assembled the editors-in-chief of all those organizations and our Voices of E3 series. Take a look.
Hey, it is what it is. So hit this like you did.
Hello, welcome back to E3 2021. My name is Chris String. I run GamesWatch.biz, which is one of the world's biggest video games business websites. And joining me today to talk about E3 and games in general are some of the biggest names in the video games media, from IGN, GameSpot, Polygon, and PC Gamer. But rather than me do the introductions, I like to pass over to the panel. Hello, everybody. Who are you? What do you do? How did you get here?
Sure. I'm Christopher Thomas Plant. That's my full birth name. It sounds like Christmas Plant if you say it really fast. I'm the editor-in-chief of Polygon.com, and it's a website.
Thanks. This is Evan Lottie over at PC Gamer. I'm the editor-in-chief.
Hi, everybody. Tina Amini, editor-in-chief of IGN. I don't have a cool Christmas Twitter name, but I do have a really cool Halloween Twitter name that someone gave to me, which is Tina Aminideville. So that's all I got.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Randolph Ramsey. I'm the editorial director from GameSpot. I go by Randy in this country because while it's okay to be called Randy in America, if you say that anywhere else in the world, you will be met with sniggers. You can't say, hi, I'm Randy, to anyone else out there.
Yeah, it's definitely true for us in the UK. So asking to all of you here, what does sort of E3 sort of represent to you? I don't know if I want to pick on somebody, but Randy, maybe.
It's difficult to separate E3 as a professional working in the industry and as a fan. I've been in this industry for so long that, you know, it's E3 to me is usually just a lot of late nights, you know, being overworked, not having enough sleep. But
they gotta have the hits. They gotta have a hit. Don't just be playing with us like this, because they gotta have some bangers today.
You know, it allows me a chance to feel like just a regular old fan of video games. You know, I still get hyped about stuff that, you know, gets revealed.
From the camera.
And you know, for those brief shining moments,
stay behind the computer.
You know, major press conferences.
Every now and then, hop on Twitter.
During, you know, like a key announcement. You know, I can sort of forget that there's all this work that I need to do around this big event and just like be a fan of video games again.
Yeah, having that in-person reaction, like you're typically sitting, if you're at a press conference, which I think probably for many of us, we maybe stopped attending them in like a physical capacity and maybe had like, we're in a war room of sorts with our team. But in general, just being able to sit next to your team and everyone's like reacting and then quickly scrambling to their keyboards again because they need to be typing up the news. That's obviously the primary element of it. But for me personally too, it's also, it's a bit of a reunion because we'll all see each other in person. But it is
so far it's only been one game.
That one space,
I think it just started.
We all agree we're going to take that time and be in one space together and be able to connect.
Yeah, I think E3 is the center of gravity too, right? I mean, in an environment, we saw what happened last year when what happens when there's not an E3.
I just want my anime shit, man. I want my anime
goes
games.
it alone, and you know, there's
if you have one game coming out,
but
in the anime side,
I think from a coverage perspective, we like having. I mean, you guys probably all share the same attitude. We like having as much time as possible to, you know, do an interview, cover something, and not be rushed off to the next thing back to back to back. But there is kind of an efficiency for us, I think, and if you're the consumer, and having everything neatly collected under one roof for 3 or 4 days.
That would be fire. My Hero's Fighter.
You know, the intensity and kind of spectacle.
I seen a leak that it was like 2v2
instead of 3v3s, fun and exciting,
which I think kind of fits more. It's like a solid gameplay.
I mean, at least in North America,
if the My Hero game's real, what's your team?
To be that center of gravity.
If the My Hero game's real, what's your dream team?
For better or worse, you get reminded very blatantly that like this is a human enterprise. There are some real people who are putting in
my dream team probably be like
trying to make the best possible event for all
gotta be
of us.
Well, this year is a digital event, and there are lots of questions about what E3 becomes in the future.
You
chatter about that. So, what do you hope to see from it come sort of 2022 or beyond that? What are your hopes
see Bakugo Deku, get out, bro.
Future of E3, and what would you like to see?
It has to become more social, and I think that is a thing that E3
that'd be dope.
I think it's like important to remember like what function E3 served back in the day.
In the
90s,
second team right there.
Games were for children or.
But I would love a new One Piece game, man.
And mainstream publications covered it once a
year.
We got 4 niggas in the chat.
We got 4 niggas in the chat. Make sure if y'all like the stream, make sure y'all subscribe because we got more content like this
now it's
on
the
the way.
Opposite. I mean, sure, newspapers are still catching up. But otherwise,
One Piece game,
video games
even if
are
it's
the center of culture.
What's that game that came out?
I think the Guardian
for the PS4.
About that. And because of that, E3's purpose no longer has to be, hey, let's
yeah,
get
World
people
Seeker.
excited
If
for
World
this
Seeker
one
came
day,
out with
let's
2
put all of our money
and they
into
improved the
it
gameplay,
has to be
fire,
something different.
100%.
Which it seems to
the
be
rest of
more
the game is crazy.
Celebratory, right? Like that kind of has become a purpose.
But this
so
shit is
hope that
Snorefest.
whatever we see it become in the future is, like you said, Chris, more inclusive. That it is this thing that is bringing people in the center of gravity, that is serving a larger communal purpose.
What are they even talking about? What are they talking about? See, what we're talking about. You know what I'm talking about?
The drawbacks of everything, of all of us being in a pandemic that's going to be
I was
really
even hearing
long by the end of this, or hopefully
yeah, you got Rocky in the back, finally being quiet for once.
It's significant that when we are being in this digital format now, I think it's nice that more people can connect. Obviously, it loses some of that social element, so I too, like Chris, hope that is retained, and I selfishly hope that we all go back in person, but I think keeping some elements digital does help connect to a broader community.
He's in the chat.
And there can be various aspects of that. Obviously, the press conferences are something that are typically digitally available to begin with, but are there some of those panels that have been introduced, or some other versions of connectivity or versions of celebrations?
I'm getting tired.
That, is something that people can experience in person or at home too, to feel like they're a part of that entire celebration of the festivities, of the news breaking, and they can get a sense of that same excitement that they may be feeling home alone because for whatever reason they're not able to attend.
You know, I'm kind of hopeful that the live aspect becomes a lot more like Comic-Con in the future, in which it's much more a celebration.
Oh, come on! We don't care about your dreams of E3. We at E3 right now. This is a pre-E3 conversation. Nick, we here right now. You ruining the event for us.
Half of it is still behind closed doors meetings with retailers, and then they're trying to, introduce more people into the game and look at some big booths. But, I think, Comic-Con does that thing where it does service the fan aspect of it really well by having that, focus on the show floor of, the culture, things you can buy, artists you can interact with, while still having that sort of hype vehicle and talking about the next big thing. So, if anything, I would hope that, they push that.
One of the games that I don't care about IGN.
When you're there.
How far do you think they should go in that direction? Like, would you just like to see them take a full-on Gamescom approach where there are, you know, potentially tens of thousands of people, you know, having a full public day?
I think niggas leaving because that's how boring this shit is, CJ.
You know, that's really servicing the public more than the trade side, the
What's
business
they?
side.
Yeah, I
What
think
they
a
remastered
traveling
Gunboat
E3 show
older
that goes around all year.
Okay, which one?
And visits multiple cities.
I don't think that'd be good sales wise, but like community wise, people love it. Yeah.
Tight knit community.
But yeah,
like Bully Got to Get You 3. I feel like that'd be the only one that they could like revamp and remaster that would do well, like sell wise.
You know what E3 could be.
But like anything else, I think it would just be like, okay,
spotlight on
I just play Fighterz instead of playing Blue Guy.
and you know allowing people to.
Or I'll play Xenoverse instead of playing like some other game.
Yeah, and just to build off that,
Yeah,
really
but
quick, I think the thing that developers are going to have to ask themselves now, and we've really hit this turning point culturally, is can we let go of the secrecy, right? Because Comic-Con works because they put talent in front of people. But when you put talent in front of people, suddenly they have leverage. And that means that, you know, they're worth more money. I mean, just to be like very blunt. And that goes for voice actors, that goes for designers. And I think there is a version of E3 in all that makes a lot of sense where, yeah, we don't need to have vertical slices for every game. They cost a ton of money. They take up a ton of hours. They can be a distraction. But if these people become celebrities in their own right,
what do they say?
That can take their place. That can create these Comic-Con environments. And I would love to see that. I think it would be healthy for the industry as a whole.
IGN hired DJ Academics. For real, bro. He had a thing popping right now.
I'd love it. You mentioned the Gamescom model, but as a business journalist,
please
I love it.
What the fuck? Podcast alert.
Because of it. As a business journalist, it's a nightmare. You know, it's just like it's busy and noisy, and I want to talk about sales figures, right? And it's.
Hey, Bandai is done. The only shows.
There's almost two parts of me. There's the fan that wants to see the big booms and the
what?
all the noise and stuff, and then there's the part of me that wants to have a little quiet place to have a cup of
coffee
and a bit of Wi-Fi and a bit of networking. So I think I would like.
You're lying.
A sort of business show and a consumer show.
That was it.
Side by side. I don't know how you I don't know how you fit that into the LCC,
that was it.
But I think that's something that I would like. But I mean, at the same time, they're sort of moving to that sort of hybrid model anyway, and I think transition's always tough. But I'd love to see that.
They only show one game.
You interested in?
I mean, with the kind of competition that we've referenced to at PAX, right?
Wait.
It's just essential that these events have a true purpose that is contemporary and you know, really self-aware of what else is happening.
That was it?
I mean, when you go to PAX, right, you see...
Stop lying.
Lots of, you know, thinking back to the PAXs I've gone, it's...
They changed the title.
Daughters and you know, fathers and sons that have, like, decided...
They changed the
to
title.
Vacation to this event because they're a huge fan of, you know, GameX. And they want to hang out and be a part of that.
Stop lying!
Put it up, man.
I mean, like... It's interesting to get a sense of like our kind of
stop lying
in this conversation, because like GDC is probably my favorite event of the year because
stop lying. That was it.
Like Lucy said, we're all going to be there as well, and it's kind of the storm has passed now,
this ain't it. This ain't it, bro.
We're gonna keep it easy breezy, maybe get a bit weird, so we'll make sure to make it entertaining for you, as well as it being...
Ain't no way they had that density to give us one game. That was ass.
And obviously loads of trailers as well, so a lot of exclusive trailers as well, so you'll get a good helping of everything you want from an E3 for the next 2 days.
And I mean, I know you said that we're slowing down, but we're not really, so... If you remember what we did for Play For All last year, it was a 6-week-long event where we had sort of the E3 side of it. We had like every major press conference in that time, so obviously everyone was more spread out than just being an E3 week, and so it was 6 weeks long. And if we weren't doing something about new releases or press conferences, we were running charity streams. We raised a lot of money last year for Black Lives Matter and Direct Relief COVID support. So this year, that's coming back in earnest.
Y'all better boot up Xenoverse 2. That's all you're gonna get.
Fantastic charity that helps people with disabilities.
Bro, I've been fine with... I would rather them give us Xenoverse 2 coming to PS5 trailer than this again.
We were talking to Steve Bond, who is going to be joining us on a live stream next week.
It's over?
The fact that gaming helps bring people
They show one game?
Just this joyous activity that, like, we know you're all gamers, because otherwise why would you be here? Partaking, and like, especially over quarantine, it's helped bring so many people together.
Yes, we're gamers. There's not been that one game.
Consulting, but also in changing pieces of hardware so that people with disabilities can
I don't believe
play.
that. That's false information.
I mean, I know this is...
This is false information. There's no way it was... There's no way that was it.
Spawn together.
Community effort to get to, I believe it's $1 million raised, and like Lucy said,
I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up. Look at this nigga!
Came out here and just
this nigga the same thing as us.
What's going on? E3 struggling really hard to survive. To be fair,
what are you gonna say?
Halo, not Halo.
Okay, we're not talking about Halo, bro. Stop playing with me. Are you serious?
to work with, and we're excited to work with, and we're gonna say who they are, a few of them, but stuff is fluid. People are always moving in and out, so you know, you never know. There could be some last-minute changes. But
are you serious?
We're gonna be partnering with our friends at Giant Bomb. We're gonna have a stream with that crew there. We're gonna have Jake Baldino is gonna be here from Game Race. We're gonna be.
Nigga, is Goku gonna be there?
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some.
If Goku not there, I don't want to be there. If Luffy not there, I'm not there. If Naruto's not there, I'm not there.
You will obviously know I'm not there. Super Eye Patch Wolf.
This was
Super Eye Patch Wolf was very kind enough.
E3, man.
With us and you know play a game.
E3.
Played, what remains of
E3.
That's what I'm about to say.
E3. I took a day off work for this. For 30 minutes of a game that no one cared about. I took work off for this. Stop lying.
Tina, Randy.
This nigga's still talking!
Thank you so much. Do check out all of our websites for all your.
This nigga's still talking! All I want to watch too is
during
Xenoverse 3. That's all I wanted! And these niggas still talking about. Stop!
Like an update, like one of the damn voice actors from My Hero supposedly said that we're gonna get like somewhat of a confirmation of a My Hero game. I mean, they didn't like 100% say it, but you know, they was like giving me that little, you know, we gonna get something. You gonna like it. I ain't gonna tell you what it is, but you might like it, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, not saying I want Drama Fighterz 2.
And then E3 comes around, which is today. Well, the night before we got the announcement for the schedule. We got
I want Xenoverse 3.
We might just call that bitch ass, right? So, yeah, just at the end of the day, what I want you guys to take away is just wait until we get the actual announcement. You know, sleep. It's more.
Oh my gosh, the fall of Ben Namco.
Bro, it's just sad too how bad they are compared to Nintendo. I mean, even Ubisoft. Like, it was a decent showcase for Ubisoft when I streamed it. But I knew right then, bro, I was like, wow, this is about to be how the rest
This is
of
a fucking L, bro.
Yeah, put the L's in the chat, bro.
Nothing but L's.
The Assassin's Creed games, that makes sense. They're putting out
nothing but L's.
I mean, still though, they didn't even do it right.
We want to play Xenoverse, bro. Put out Xenoverse 3. Fuck these guys.
I'm saying, where's Xenoverse 3? Where's Xenoverse 3? Bro, when does Xenoverse come out?
Telling you.
Something for us instead of ourselves, bro. Like, what the fuck?
A lot of it too boils down to they are the monopoly. They don't
when does Xenoverse 2 come out?
Competition, so they can literally do what they please.
2016, CJ.
That is the 100%.
It's 2021.
They can do what
it's been 5 years.
That's why they do the things they do. That's why I gotta change games, because if I can find a, it's not that I don't enjoy Xenoverse.
It's been 5 years.
Oh, they told me to go here. Go back to RGN, bro.
This nigga think it's more more content.
You've
We
got
go with
the
that
gaming
battery
chair,
commercial, bro.
the
Every
gaming
time,
headset.
bro.
You said the battery commercial.
Upgrade your Xbox controller with your
Bro. Tis Namco.
What was this year, bro?
Bandai, what the hell?
2022.
See what's got.
Everybody loves watching a speed run of their favorite game.
Is this?
But what if you got a chance to peek into the mind of the developers behind those
I don't
games?
care about the mind developers.
I think he said too.
I don't care. Yeah. I don't care.
What's up for this year?
Bro, I really took my day off work for this. I took work off for this. These niggas still chatting. Niggas just go on FaceTime. I don't want to see this.
What is this?
That was definitely the most fun enough for me.
No.
All right, and now we're gonna throw back over to the ESA stream. We'll be right here after all of the awards and stuff are done to wrap up E3.
Great, this is awards, bro. They still got the logo! Bro, gotta be something, bro. Maybe they're just kidding. Joking around.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Even got mad. You got thunder right there. I can't believe this. I honestly can't believe this.
Yeah. Nobody else. What is this, bro? Nothing but L's. Not one peak.
Bro. I would just on my video too, bro.
Not one peep.
Oh man,
Not one peep.
that's some booty. That's some booty cheap, man. Come on. Kakarot Switch is the 2021 game. Fucking me. Don't say that, because I actually think you might be. I think you actually might have nailed it on the head. I think you're right. I think Bandai genuinely thinks that is the 2021 game. That they can just say, fuck it, Kakarot Switch. That's the 2021 game. That's what y'all deserve.
That's crazy, bro.
Oh god. And now my chicken tenders are gone. Sad hours. Ooh, you should just end the stream.
Bro, are you serious? Is this nigga serious? So yeah, I'm paying the equivalence of it. This is the equivalence of the stream today. Shit.
TJ on the beat.
I can just appreciate when they have this absolutely massive narrative and so much going on that it can absolutely turn people away from it and they don't care.
Set in places or have storylines that are incredibly depressing or morbid, but then they inject these
Show me the shirt. For me, the
stories I appreciate the most are always women kicking ass.
I got to take the thing off, bro.
Welcome back to E3 Live from Los Angeles, and I want to continue this conversation about storytelling. Every game has some sort of story to tell, but some games are taking their narrative to cinematic levels. Games like The Last of Us, Detroit Become Human, Bioshock, Red Dead, just to name a few. Guys, what type of stories do you like in your games? Alex, I'm starting with you.
Yeah. Okay. So the answer for me will always and forever be Halo. The Halo 1 story, it was actually one of the first, like, as a kid, one of the first, like, narrative games I actually paid attention to. For some reason, I got into the books, and then from there, it just became became a fascination. Another one that always stays in the back of my mind was Skies of Arcadia. I loved that game as a kid, and something about like being a pirate, but
that game haunts me to this day. I just remember, I mean, the opening scene. I still have not seen a game just punch in the face like that. Like, I just remember being terrified, sad, angry, and then I was like, I'm 2 minutes into this thing, and I don't know what the hell is going on here. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was just extremely heavy. And I thought The Last of Us 2 was fantastic as well. I know, you know, people are quite divided on that title. But for me, with Ellie and Abby, it's just, we saw how human they were. You know, there were times where I absolutely hated them, and I was just like, I can't stand you. And then there were times where they had me weeping, and I was just totally empathetic to their situation.
Stop! No, my E3!
You know, there's tons of amazing games out there that, you know, we're just like, man, that hits me right in my gut and my core, that I just definitely relate to that. But just those two titles in particular, it's just a fantastic series. And
especially for The Last of Us and the storytelling, right? You're talking about things we can relate to. For me, it's the ones where we can't, we still love that game. And so for me, you know, the final scene in The Last of Us, no spoilers, right? But the final time you're playing The Last of Us Part 1, like I remember finishing that and putting it down and being like, I got killed. Because I thought I was going to have a choice. I thought I was going to do the video game thing. Do you want to do this or do you want to do that? Yeah, I got destroyed because I didn't do what the thing it needed me to do. And so I remember finishing that and being like, Joel's the bad guy. And having that conversation about that with so many different people. And then going to part 2. And then throughout the game being like, don't do that outly. But I keep wanting to play it so I don't understand what's happening. Like, that's the power of video games, right?
Indeed it is.
Storyline-based games aren't the only ones we love. When we return here at E3 Live from LA, we are taking a look at our favorite first-person shooters of all time. Don't go anyway. I wonder what the Golden Boy is going to say. I wonder what Golden Boy is going to say, all right?
We'll
shoot our shot in just a few.
We should watch some good content, you know? We try to reaction to the Breath of the Wild.
My brain turned on playing Super Mario Bros. on the NES.
I started with Super Mario on the NES.
I think my first Nintendo I broke though because I thought it was a piggy bank, so I shoved a bunch of pennies in it.
I have a photo of my mum with me literally in her belly playing Duck Hunt.
I got really into
I don't care!
Just play Fighterz, bro.
Yeah, it's it for the stream. Bro, yeah, I literally I missed out on money for this. Cause I had that much faith in them. That much faith in Bandai.
Now you wanna drop the ball this hard?
Like at least I get like one banger game. That's all I wanted. I thought it'd be like some Gundam games, maybe some turn-based games. And then it would be one banger, whether it's Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball. And they said, bro, stop. Oh my gosh.
CJ on.
I can't. I can't.
They're really on that GT stuff. GTA.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut the stream, y'all. For those who enjoy, you know, this little shit show for 30 minutes, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. I plan on doing more live streams. When Xenoverse 3 and Fighterz 2 and My Hero get announced, I will be there, 100%. So, I don't know, man. I think it's over E3. I can't do this next year. Next year, I'm not giving them this time in my life. I'm not cutting on my piece of my life for them. Ever again. Ever again.
Nintendo carry, and even that.
I'm saying Nintendo carry, and it wasn't even that strong.
It wasn't strong enough to carry, you know?
I can't believe this shit, bro.
Get this shit off.
Hey, we ain't get no games this year, and we got Kakarot on Switch, but we ain't get no new games. Hey, we ain't get no fucking new games.
No.
Namco better for all of them in their community. Bro, are you serious? I can't let it go. I took work off for this event, and it was 30 minutes of them talking. It was 30 minutes of them talking.
In the stream, bro. In the stream.
It was 30 minutes of them talking.
Hey, bro. You lost out $30 for 30 minutes, bro.